I want to begin this video by reminding everyone of what I stated 4 days ago on the 19th. You cannot even declare something to be bullish at this time without it getting shut down right away. All you hear these days is warriors.com like crash, and the bearish feeling is really loud. My timeline hardly ever has any bullish charts or posts. Because of what they are hearing and seeing, most people will not think that we are going much higher at this time. The situation involving Israel and Iran was one of the most significant issues we dealt with in the past few days. Yes, things may get a little hard from here, but make sure you grasp what's going on, I stated even during that period. It's a shakeout. People are in a panic. Everyone is afraid and anxious. We are currently in the eye of the storm, and guess what? This will also pass. Take a look at the market today. The everyday appears like this. This is the hourly's appearance. A pleasant little sea of green surrounds us. Naturally, a lot of things are pumping in a huge way, and we love to see this. Ethereum's daily gain was 7.7%. Q&T 9.1%, XRP guys 6.9%, H-bar is up 12.8%. Because Bitcoin is at 105, this market is recovering significantly. Ethereum 2,400 XRP is $2 and nearly 16 cents. Good day. Additionally, the daily appears excellent. On the weekly chart, several antique coins are actually up double digits or more. Though we still require a bit more, we are beginning to go green. Movement. To actually get there on a weekly and of course monthly basis, yes, we are still seeing a lot of red for the majority of ancient coins, therefore it will require some time to recover. However, I do have a suspicion that by the end of this month and the start of July, we should be back to our regular routines, which is precisely what we kind of expect anyhow. But in terms of the real market, I'm glad to see this today. This is how the market seems. The market capitalization is $3 trillion. 37 years later, fear and greed are still prevalent. The time was 37. Actually, it's 47. Now, while I was looking at this, I just spiked. The market capitalization is $3.24 trillion. Coin market capitalization, I suppose, merely trailed behind, but we're up 4.9% here. The market appears to be doing well overall, since Ethereum is beginning to exceed Bitcoin, exactly what we want to see. And while Bitcoin's dominance is still as high as it is, I'm actually keeping a careful eye on it. We're at 65.38% after all. Additionally, I have been examining Ethereum's dominance. In fact, we were watching these lows being run. On a macro level, this is more so. I believe that happened within the 3 weeks. Indeed, throughout the 3 weeks that we were examining this, we thought, okay, so this should be our bottom area down here as a demand zone. We have wick from it so far, you know. Additionally, we're currently trading in a very similar scenario to that of 2020, when we hit a great resistance level and were only trading sideways, which might be the case for Ethereum and the rest of this market at current moment. It is possible that we will have to wait a little while longer in the 2020 timeframe. It really just depends on where we are in the market, isn't that right? In contrast to earlier cycles. However, anything may happen at any time, so yes, there is a chance that Bitcoin's dominance will drastically decline. We might cause ancient coins to go nuts, and that might occur at any time. Although it has happened before, we would really like to see Ethereum dominance take the lead in this case, as we want to enter phase 2 of the cycle as a whole. However, today's excellent news is that the conflict is essentially over. World War III, which was becoming blown out of proportion, you know. In other words, everyone was discussing the arrival of World War III. The market is finished. Donald J. Trump posted on Truth Social at approximately 4:02 p.m. on the 23rd saying, "Congratulations, world. It's time for peace." Following this, there were a few more posts similar to this one in which we anticipated and successfully countered Iran's official feeble response to our destruction of their nuclear facilities. Of the 14 missiles fired, 13 were destroyed and 1 was released since it was traveling in an unthreatening direction. I'm happy to say that very little damage was done and that no Americans were hurt. Most importantly, they have finally let it all out, and maybe there won't be any more hate. I would like to thank Iran for providing us with advance notification. How hilarious is this? We would want to express our gratitude to them for providing us with advance notice, which allowed no lives to be lost. So, are we discussing a single major show here? A single massive controlled shakeout, you know? Considering that's how it feels, this was also, you know, a part of that piece that Trump also posted, which I will discuss here shortly, but I do want to wrap this up first. They therefore wish to express their gratitude to Iran for providing us with advance notice, which allowed for the avoidance of fatalities and injuries. Maybe Iran may now move toward regional peace and harmony. Furthermore, I will strongly urge Israel to follow suit. I appreciate you taking the time to consider this. President Donald J. Trump of the United States of America. Everyone is in a panic as a result of the massive outbreak of World War III that occurred over the weekend. You know, cryptocurrency is falling sharply. Over the weekend, that is, we got this on Monday when the market is trading rather gently and the equities are opening. This cannot be made up. This cannot be made up right now. It seems like everything is staged and we are all part of a single massive performance. This was the ceasefire that we have over here. Thus, congrats to all. Israel and Iran have fully agreed that there will be a complete and total ceasefire in about 6 hours after they have wound down and finished their ongoing final missions, which will be completed in 12 hours. At that time, the war will be deemed to be over. Iran will formally begin the ceasefire. Israel will follow on the 12th hour, and the world will officially celebrate the end